Side of that CPAC mask, and you could have a whole Top Gun fucking play. That doesn't work for anybody else? Never mind. Although, if it makes you feel any better, people on tandem bikes are not happy. Guaranteed. Are you ready? Are you ready? We have to make sure everybody's ready, especially the production coordinator of the show. Turn it up. Push that shit to 9. Maybe 7. 8.5. Are you ready? I will ask you again. You have reached the headliner point in this evening, and you could not be in a better space for a headliner. This motherfucker is hilarious. She's headlined Oasis Comedy Tuesdays. She's headlined Ladies Night. She hosts and produces Funny Bunnies at Hop Yard. It's going to be a monthly show, and she's one of the funniest people I fucking know. Give it up for Alba Marie Spargos.
I do want to address right off the top that I am aware that I look like a little girl's imaginary friend. The look I go for is kind of like if a sex worker also had a lemonade stand. I do sometimes get mistaken for younger than I am, though. I was mistaken for a teenager earlier until they saw my Limp Bizkit tramp stamp. Don't worry though, I am a proper grown-up. I am old enough that I have a drug plan that doesn't involve going to the dope. Guys, I come to you tonight in my sparkly little outfit with some very good news. Are you ready for it? I cured my depression by giving myself anxiety. Because I'm a millennial and we can't win. Can we do like a big round of applause for the Oasis for having us here? I do really appreciate it. I think it's really important to have the right kind of venue for the right kind of entertainment, right? So I think if I ever had a venue, I would have a dance club, but only for people with anxiety, and I'd call it Panic at the Disco. And can we do like another round of applause for you guys for coming out tonight? Especially you. You came from far away. Oh, she's doing it under the table. I wasn't sure what your hands were doing. No, I do appreciate it. I know it's been hard. We've been in a pandemic for almost 2 years. It's been hard on me too, especially financially. I recently had to move back in with my husband. It's been awkward. I call him Big Dick Chris. He does not like that. Maybe because his name is Todd? I don't know, he's a weird guy. He's one of those guys that always like feels the need to be the best at everything. And we got in a fight and he gets all flustered and he goes, I guess I'm just a shitlord. I'm like, shitlord? Really? Like at best, you're maybe like a pope mayor. Came with in-laws. Do you have in-laws? No excitement, just yes. Anybody else, if you don't have in-laws, they're basically like these weird sort of parents. Like they don't love you unconditionally, but they will buy you a Christmas present if you promise to fuck their child. Got this skirt for fucking someone's child. Don't worry, they wanted me to. It's fine. We all fuck someone's child, it's fine. It is like this weird, convoluted prostitution process though. Because like I get a package in December from his mom, and I open it up and I'm like, is this cashmere? I better ride that dick real good. Clearly I did. Now, you know, marriage, it has its ups and downs. I broke my phone recently, and I needed to make a call, so I borrowed my husband's. And I am a very secure person, so I did not feel the need to look through his messages from before 2018. And like, I really wish that I didn't, I haven't said this out loud yet, so like, my worst fear did come true. He is friends with a horse girl. And I'm pretty sure they're having sex, but that's not even my biggest problem. I did confront her, but she said, nay. It would make sense, though. It would explain all the centaur porn. Do you think I should be more worried or less? I don't know, it would explain a lot. He once told me that he thinks missionary sex is vanilla. And I think that's harsh. But I also think if that's true, then choking has become pumpkin spice. Because all of a sudden, all you fancy white ladies are into it. Like, I think I figured out why Karen wants to see the manager. Thank you guys for being so supportive. I don't know if you know this, but like, a lot of times in the comedy industry, when a woman takes the stage, people get tense. They just tense up, not you, you're fine, but like this table. You tense up, because you always think I'm gonna talk about the thing. You know, the thing ladies get every once in a while. We deal with it in the bathroom. Back in the day, you used to send us to the woods for a few days until we were clean. You know what I'm talking about. Cocaine. Anyway, I did get my period real bad. And that might not seem like a big deal, but like, I did have some medical issues. I thought I had menopause at age 29. I didn't. But what had happened is essentially, you know, I was having problems with hubby, wasn't getting any, and my body just like shut down. I basically had the vaginal equivalent of being stuck behind an old lady at a Costco. Like, I really wanted one of those big hot dogs. But at some point, it's not worth the wait. You know, every time we come back from one of these little, like, hiatuses, I always want to come back, like, cool and edgy, like Kesha. But instead, I come back just, like, a little bit more overweight, like Kesha. I wasn't talking about, like, the big stuff. Like, I want to talk about abortion. But I feel like I can't because that's, like, such a personal thing. And I haven't had one yet. And if you've had one or you think about having one, like, I'm not trying to throw shade at you. Like, you do what you want. It's your semen demon. And I can honestly say I've never met somebody that I liked so much that I wanted to keep their cum as a pet. It's just not for me. No, so I'm more of like a DIY kind of girl, so I had a miscarriage. Weirdly enough though, 5 Minute Crafts did not want my video. Like, I thought maybe they'd mix it in with something at least, you know, like 10 things you can do with a hanger. Relax, guys. I didn't use a hanger, it's fine. I didn't use a hanger, I'm getting older. That's what it is, you know? My baby maker is turning into a murder muffin. It just happens. I'm not dry yet though, you know? Sometimes ladies get older, they start to get dry. How are you doing? Are you dry yet? No? How about you? You look like you're pretty young. How are you doing? You look like you're probably still pretty soggy. What about the ladies in the back? Are those land clams still swimming? Oh, if I'd known you would be here, I would have brought you some plastic. I'm still doing pretty well though. I still slosh around like a big gulp in a 4x4. Some of you like that too much. Oh, it is embarrassing though, because like my family is obsessed with having babies. Like my 17-year-old niece who dropped out of high school to have her second child looks at me and she's like, you really gotta get your shit together. Now, truth is, I come from a family of 19, which I don't know if you know anything about like numbers or humans, but that's too many. My dad was like a typical Alberta man. Like he kept saying he was gonna pull out, but he never did. To clarify though, not all from the same woman. Like, could you imagine my mom just walking around with a vagina the size of a hula hoop? Like, is that a poodle skirt? Nope. No, she married into already having 10 stepchildren. Like she was trying to cosplay every single Disney villain at the same time. When I call her, I'm all upset. I'm like, you know what? Like, ideologically, I would think I can do this. What's wrong with me? Like, am I adopted? And she looks at me and she goes, I had 18 other children. Why the fuck would I adopt you? And I was telling this to someone recently, and they were very, very, very surprised. I said, you know, I have 18 siblings, and they were like, that's so weird. And I was like, you know what? It's not that weird. I come from Alberta. It's farmland. And this guy like looks at me and he goes, do you mean like a people farm? I didn't know you could farm people. I did actually get in trouble this year. I forgot my sister's birthday, which sounds bad. But I dare you to remember 18 of anything. When I think about my 18th favorite t-shirt, I would wash the Oasis bathroom in that. Like, you just can't remember that many things. Like, I didn't think it was a big deal, but my sister, very upset. And I'm like, you know what? You expect me to remember your birthday just because we're twins? So I know I did say that I have a husband, but in my 20s, I actually dated a lot of women. I was a bit of a crack addict. I am actually bisexual. Is anybody part of the LGBTQ community? Thank you for coming out. Queerly beloved, we are gathered here today. I used to perform in Alberta and nobody would cheer. But there'd be like one guy in the front row just trying a little too hard to keep a straight face. So I am bisexual, I'm naturally a redhead, and I'm a twin, which means I'm a member of 3 separate Pornhub categories. And that's the skill I use to judge the success of my life. I think I'm doing pretty well, but my sister is actually very, very brave. She recently came out to our parents. Big deal. Can we get like maybe a little clapsies for her? Very big deal. She said, Mom, Dad, I don't want to eat meat anymore. And I guess vegetarian is worse than vegetarian. So guess who's the favorite twin? I sometimes worry that people are disappointed by the time I get to the stage, because my name Alva sounds very exotic, but I just sound like this. And truth is, I am a reformed hick. I am from a small town so rural that my high school crush was John Deere. Say what you want, but that boy knows how to plow. And some people can say their family was from a small town. My whole family just was a small town. And the thing about like being a queer person in a small town is nobody knows anything about queer culture. So you can just make shit up. I told everybody in my town that LGBT stood for lasagna garlic bread time. And there was just no one there to correct me. One guy was like, well, what's the little plus? And I'm like, oh, that's a side salad. I told them that trans was just like when you like to do it on a train. And that woke was when you stuck around the morning after a threesome. Never been woke, personally. True story, my dad still thinks RuPaul is a real estate agent. They don't understand. Like, they think that I wanted to be like a full-blown lesbian, but I was just too good at making sandwiches. I think that, like, they call it country gay. Like, they think I wanted to be gay, but there just wasn't enough options. And sometimes when I say this, people will come up to me after shows and they'll like quiz me. So they're so excited they met a bisexual person. They're like, oh, you're bisexual. Have you sucked a dick, licked a pussy, and had a threesome? I'm like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I'm just trying to live my life. Why are you assigning me a sexual scavenger hunt? Actually used to be very overwhelmed by threesomes. To me, it was always like playing a game of Bop It. And one time I just froze up and the guy said, pull it! But I panicked and twisted it. And now I see threesomes a little bit more like when your manager overbooks your shift. Like, it's just more support. You can duck out for a minute, go get a snack. If they're cool, they'll let you take a nap. And you can get off early without feeling bad for anybody else. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much.